arguably one of the easiest yet most advanced way to get to a direction in price action. I'm talking about market structure, which then leads to fair value areas. In this second video of the money making concepts, we are still focused on finding the direction in price action. After this video, you are going to have a really good understanding of the direction of price action. So here, the second video, market structure, which leads to fair value areas. I first want to revisit the previous video where we talked about the PD race. So let's remind ourselves what are again those PD rays that price action is moving towards, because price is always moving towards a PD ray. It is our job to find out which PD ray we are moving towards next. And we mainly talked about fair value gap, fair value area, and swing points. But the fair value area we mentioned, we don't necessarily want to trade towards it. It will mainly help to trade from it. And those fair value gap and those swing points, they can be used as a target in price action. So if we first go over the chart and we mark out those fair value gaps and those swing points. All right, here we are on Euro GBP. And again, I want to emphasize on the fact when marking out those fair value gaps and those swing points, like we mentioned in the previous video, start on the daily time frame. So the first thing that I want to focus on is this swing low right there. And when we scroll all the way towards the left, we can see that we have previous swing lows right here, which we can also look to target right there. Then if we also mark out a swing high, we see this swing high right there. And we have a few swing highs in between that price action right there as well. Just to not clutter the chart with too many things on it, I'm just going to leave it at this right now, the swing highs and the swing lows right there on the daily time frame. So we understand price is always moving towards the next PD ray, but how can we then now know which PD ray we are moving towards next? That is where the understanding of a fair value area will really help us. But in order to understand a fair value area, we first need to understand market structure. So moving on towards the next slide, we see market structure right here. And the first thing that I want to discuss is an intermediate term high and an intermediate term low right there. Those are the main things that we are going to be focusing on in this video, intermediate term highs and intermediate term lows. Then in the coming video, we will also focus on short-term highs and short-term lows, but this will be discussed in an order flow video in the next video. So if the focus for this video is intermediate term highs and intermediate term lows, we of course need to understand what that is. So let's move on. Intermediate term highs and intermediate term lows. This, what you're seeing on the left side right there, is an intermediate term high where the arrow is pointing. Now, why is that an intermediate term high right there? It all starts with the previous video, understanding those swing points. So what we're seeing right there is 3 swing highs. We have a swing high in the middle right there, a swing high lower to the left of the middle swing high, and lower to the right of it right there. That makes the middle swing high an intermediate term high. So to define it, an IT is the following. Swing high with a lower swing high to the left and to the right, like we're seeing in the example. Why is this important? Because in a bearish trend, when we are moving lower, the intermediate term high will be protected. So imagine we have a bearish trend. All the intermediate term highs, we know that we're not going to trade back above those intermediate term highs. That will really help us in understanding what the direction is. Because if we are trading above those intermediate term highs, then the intermediate term lows might be protected. What is an intermediate term low? Well, if we take a look right here on the left side, we have the exact same example, just inversed. So we're dealing with 3 swing lows right there. The middle swing low has a swing low higher to the right of it and higher to the left of it, making it the exact same definition, just inversed. So looking right here, the intermediate term low is a swing low with a higher swing low to the left and to the right of it. And that creates in a higher trend, when we are moving higher, the intermediate term low will be protected. Now, again, why is this talk about market structure even relevant? Because of the following fact that we talked about in the previous episode, in the first episode about PD rays. Price is always moving towards a PD ray. I want you to have that sentence and write it down somewhere in your desk so you will never forget it. Because the foundation of trading starts with that sentence. It is our job to find out which PD ray is next. So let's move on and find out which PD ray we want to move towards next by marking them out and then combining it with market structure. We first need to understand the time frames. Because again, like we mentioned earlier, when we were marking out those swing points and fair value gaps, you want to mark them out on the daily time frame. Then once we move on and we start looking at intermediate term highs and intermediate term lows, we want to go into the 4-hour and the 1-hour time frame to spot those intermediate term highs and intermediate term lows. They will then tell us the story, what daily time frame PD ray we want to move towards next. Let me show you the chart. All right, so here we are on Euro GBP with the previous swing points that we had marked out on the daily time frame. Now for this example, I mainly want to focus right here on these two swing points and on this price action going lower right there within the gray box. So if we go down a time frame, we first of all want to focus on the 4-hour time frame and see if we can find intermediate term highs and intermediate term lows. If there are already intermediate term highs and intermediate term lows on the 4-hour time frame, you don't need to go into the 1-hour time frame to get a clear direction. The 4-hour then is more than enough. So in this gray box, going down to the 4-hour time frame, then the lines that we have right there are again those daily swing points, and we focus on the intermediate term highs and intermediate term lows within this price action. We're going to mark them out with blue circles. Then the first intermediate term high that we actually have is sitting right there. The second intermediate term high that we have is sitting right next to it, right there. Then we have the following intermediate term low right there. Then we also have this intermediate term high again sitting right there, followed by this intermediate term low, followed again by this intermediate term high. And eventually this trend continues until we reach this low right there in the form of that daily swing low. Now, what do you notice? Well, that in a bearish trend right there, intermediate term highs do not get traded back above, whilst intermediate term lows get traded below. Now, that is what we mentioned earlier, and that is quite basic, I would argue. Let's take it a step further, because what else can we notice? Well, we can notice that price action tends to retrace until the previous intermediate term low. So for example, right here, this intermediate term low right there gets traded back into sitting right there towards the left, where the new intermediate term high gets created before we continue lower. And if we remove some of these blue circles and we focus actually on the previous price action, then we can see this is a common phenomenon. For example, this intermediate term high right here gets traded back into with this sting right there. Now, this intermediate term high has a rejection of it, as in at this moment in time with this price action, we try to push higher, price tries to continue higher, but fails to do so. That is then followed by lower prices right here, where we respect the previous intermediate term high, create a new intermediate term high, continue lower. Now, if you were to go down another time frame right here, then on the 1-hour time frame, what do we see? On the 1-hour time frame, this low that is getting respected is also an intermediate term low. What do we trade back into? The intermediate term low right there to then perfectly again continue lower. So these boxes that we currently have, those intermediate term highs, intermediate term lows, that's almost like, we could argue, support and resistance, right? Well, yes, but there's a theory behind it. Because right here, if we now go up in time frames again, then what do we see even before this? Well, we have this intermediate term low that is sitting right there as well, which we retrace back into to then continue lower off of that to then target what? The new intermediate term low that we had sitting right there. So in a utopia, something tends to happen. We have an intermediate term high right there. We create an intermediate term low right there as well. Then we create, let's say, a new intermediate term high, which is lower than the previous intermediate term high. Then after that, we break through, so we trade below the previous intermediate term low. So we have a trend like this right here. And if we now want to continue lower, we tend to trade back into the intermediate term low that we had previously traded below to then continue lower off of that. If that does not happen and we trade back above the intermediate term high right there again, the same thing applies. We can expect that the intermediate term high right there is now getting respected if we do want to continue higher. That will give us a trend, that gives us direction on the lower time frame to target those daily PD rays. But again, like we mentioned, is that then just not some kind of support and resistance? Well, we could argue yes, but again, what is then the theory behind that? Because that is what makes it so interesting. In other words, what is then the fair value area? Because we have just explained that through the lens of market structure. Well, the fair value area is the following. 1. Market structure from the intermediate term high to the intermediate term low and vice versa. Now, what that looks like and why that is the case, I'm going to show you in a little bit. First, let's go over the second, order flow. From the short-term high to the short-term low and vice versa is also a fair value area. But that is something we will revisit and we will come back to in the next video. But let's understand this a little bit deeper. Well, a fair value area is a 3-swing movement. So we have the following fair value areas. We have 1, 2, 3 right there. Leaves behind from this intermediate term high to that intermediate term low, a fair value area. Or we have where we don't take out the previous intermediate term low, intermediate term low, intermediate term high, intermediate term low, leaves behind a fair value area from the intermediate term high to the intermediate term low right there. And this is the exact same from an order flow perspective when we have those red dots, which are short-term highs and short-term lows instead, again, touching on that in the next video. All right, we moved quite fast right here because we talked about market structure, intermediate term highs, intermediate term lows. How to create a fair value area. Then here we mention a fair value area is a 3-swing movement. What even is a fair value area and why is it a fair value area in the first place? Let's get to the theory. Now, let's draw the theory out. We start off with 1 swing lower, which is again, 1 single swing. Creates an intermediate term low sitting right there. Then afterwards creates an intermediate term high sitting right there. After that, it continues lower and creates that 3rd swing. So we have 1, 2, 3, intermediate term low, intermediate term high. Now we can retrace back into the intermediate term low that we had towards the left sitting right there and continue lower off of that. Because what we have just done is offered fair value and we have created a fair value area. Because the fair value area is from the intermediate term low to the intermediate term high. What does this mean? The market likes to offer fair value. In other words, what is fair value? The market likes to offer every single person, every single participant, a fair chance to get involved in the market. A chance at fair value. So when we have a move lower like this, we have not offered fair value right there because only sellers got a chance to potentially get involved at that moment in time. So we retrace. That retracement happens because currently we are offering buyers as well a fair chance to get involved and offering potential new sellers as well a fair chance to get involved again. So we are offering fair value where the previous price action, the first swing, went too fast. So we need to create a retracement to offer that again fair value. Then once the retracement is done, we continue lower, trade below this low that we have right there, which we know as an intermediate term low. Then if the market is going to offer fair value again, what is the area that we have not offered fair value just yet? Well, that is the area below this low right there, the intermediate term low. Because this full area, there has already been fair value. So there's no reason to come back very deep into that area because we have already offered fair value. And that creates a fair value area because the area is already fair value from the intermediate term low to the intermediate term high. So the furthest we can ideally retrace is back to the intermediate term low, the start of the fair value area, to then continue lower off of that. So by showing you the examples that we had earlier on right here, when we see this intermediate term low right there, which is again, this bigger fair value area right there, then we have a retracement back into that fair value area. From that fair value area, we see a movement lower, coming back into this previous intermediate term high, because this is also a fair value area sitting right there, where the only area where we have not offered fair value just yet is again the area above the high sitting right here. So even if we remove the fair value area towards the left and we just focus on this one, then the furthest we can ideally retrace is back to the fair value area high to then continue higher off of it. So if we get this rejection right there and the rejection does not follow through, does not continue higher, it does not continue the bullish trend where intermediate term lows are protected, then we have an early sign right here because we are not offering fair value anymore. So then we can again flip it like we mentioned on the 1 hour time frame. We then have this intermediate term low because this right here on the 1 hour is also a fair value area. And based on order flow, that is also a fair value area sitting right there. Then we also have this fair value area afterwards right there, from the intermediate term low to the intermediate term high. And when we see these fair value areas holding right there, they continue lower off of it, we can safely assume when intermediate term lows keep on getting traded below, that we want to continue lower towards these targets right there. So now on Euro GBP, without looking at the previous price action, let's again go over the daily time frame first, marking out those swing points and marking out those fair value gaps. Then we have this swing low sitting right there. We have this fair value gap we already traded into. So I want to mark out this fair value gap right there. Then we have a swing high sitting right there as well. So we have a potential lower target and higher targets as well. Now let's go back then into the 4 hour time frame and into the 1 hour time frame again to see how this works in live price action. On the 4 hour, we now know that this low that we actually took is also a bigger intermediate term low. So let's say we want to continue lower right here. We should ideally respect this bigger fair value area right there with the bigger intermediate term high that we have at the top right there to then continue lower. Currently we see we came off of this intermediate term low right here. We try to push lower, creating a new intermediate term low sitting at the bottom right there. Then off of this intermediate term low, we see higher prices right now, where we took out a previous intermediate term low sitting right there. And the previous intermediate term highs that were created, if we go into the 1 hour time frame even, which are sitting right there, then this area is right here, the current fair value area, which at this moment in time, we are respecting quite nicely. So what can be a potential next target? Well, we might want to trade into this daily fair value gap that we have sitting right there based on the current fair value areas that we have. And if we start to disrespect, so we start to continue lower right here, respecting those bearish fair value areas, we might want to trade towards this low sitting right there. And that is exactly what we are going to be studying. Because moving on, for your own sake, this is the most important part of the video. You will never truly understand a concept that I explain until you start studying it, until you start seeing it for your own. So for your case study, which again, you can use a study notion, which again, link in the description towards the study notion, focus on the following. Mark out the swing points and fair value gaps on a daily chart. Can be any chart. So you can focus on Euro GBP, can also be GBP US dollar, Nasdaq, Bank Nifty, crypto, whatever it may be. Then go down time frames, so the 4 hour and the 1 hour, to see the market structure and see if you can tell the coming few days to which PDRA price action wants to go next based on the market structure on the 4 hour and the 1 hour time frame. All right, perfect. Thank you.